Okay, so that'll be recorded for you. Okay, so let's have a look at your energy source. Okay, you've got a few changes on here. So I mean, hydration, I would imagine you guys are drinking a lot of water at the moment, aren't you? Because it's so hot out there.
Yes, but here at Paradise Point, it's very chlorinated. So I think it's the quality of the water.
Ah, right,
Because
okay.
I do drink and I like the big glasses.
Yeah. Okay. So have you got a water filter where you are? Can you get a water filter?
I'll have to get one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because if there is a big challenge with quality of water. And just making sure. I mean, even in the the sort of the interim, because obviously you're living with your mum, aren't you, at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like a jug water filter, like I don't
Oh,
the
yeah.
it's kind of, and okay, they're not amazing, but they're better.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Better
just
than
better.
what we've just the nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I use especially when I'm going away, and this changes the energy and the structure in the water. It's like so it's like a little coaster thing you put your water on. Um,
Yeah.
and you can buy them actually for the I don't know, well, I would imagine the websites in Australia that sell them. And what it does, it changes I think it changes the molecules in the water or something. But literally, it needs to be on there for about 5 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean, some people use wands and things like that can help. But I tend to sort of take that with me wherever I go. So
Wow.
if the water isn't good.
Mm-mm.
But you can get them for to put your food on as well, like a plate on. But you suppose you can put a plate on there really and change it.
Okay.
But I noticed I don't drink tap water, but I thought, well, I'll try tap water, because I hate the taste of tap water. It's like I'm like,
Mm.
I'd rather pay, premium price for a bottle of water in a restaurant
Yeah.
than drink tap water. People go, oh, we'll just get tap water. I'm like, well, you have tap water. I'm just going to buy a bottle of water. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have some of yours. I said, only if you're going to pay half. Because it's an expensive resource, isn't it? But it's yeah. So I tried it with tap water, and it actually did change the taste. So
Oh,
when I've got so I mean, I use filtered water anyway, but when I have my grandson come over, because they've noticed my daughter only uses tap water, and I said, it's no good for him, it's no good for you. Get yourself a water filter, they're not that expensive.
mm-hmm.
And you don't have to go, you just get, something's better than nothing.
Mm.
But they said they will once they get their new kitchen. But I tried him with tap water, then I changed it and put his water bottle on there. And then he was like, oh, okay. It was a little bit more encouraged to drink it. But
Yeah.
I always give him filtered water when he comes to me anyway,
Mm-hmm.
for that reason. So yeah. Okay. Oxygenation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, obviously I don't know the reasons behind your
Yeah.
divorce.
So I've started swimming
Okay.
and oxygenation was on the last scan as well, if I can remember correctly. I know it's going through this, it's not going through, so it flips. So it's at half mast, but I purposely started swimming.
Okay. Outside of swimming, do you do any deep breathing exercises? I mean, what do you tend to sort of do to relax?
Hmm. Um, I've been encouraging others to do deep breathing for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, but no other relaxation.
Okay. So that's going to say it's not just the sort of the physical, it's the emotional that comes with that. So just taking some time
Okay.
out to do some deep breathing. And I know we're all good at telling other people, aren't we?
Okay. Yeah.
But if we're not doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I generally, I mean, I struggle with, I'm like you, I struggle with deep breathing because I can't tend to, my head won't turn off at times. Okay. But what I do, I purposely go to yoga and Pilates because I like the flexibility, I like the class, but because
Yeah.
it teaches me how to breathe properly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm following the class instructor on
Yes.
what to do, and I struggle with it massively.
Mm-hmm.
And there's different, there's different things that you can do, but even like sort of, going on to like a YouTube video and just doing a sort of, a 5-minute breathing exercise,
Yes.
is a good thing. The meditation will also encourage you to deep breathe.
Yes, I've noticed that does have it in there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So often, oxygenation, obviously we're looking at lung energy, is associated with grief in Chinese medicine.
Yeah.
So don't forget, you probably got those layers
Yeah.
that you're working through. Your perimenopausal. You've got there's been some big life changes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It takes time to work through that, and there'll be times when something will happen and you'll spiral back down, and that's normal.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just I suppose it's kind of like being kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Doing some deep breathing. I mean, the swimming is great. Are you swimming in the sea, or are you in a swimming pool? What are you?
No, in a swimming pool.
Okay. Is it salt water? Or is it?
It doesn't smell chlorinated. I think they're using salt.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's 25 and I'm doing about 40 laps.
Wow. Okay.
25
Fantastic.
meters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We grow up in the water here in the Gold Coast in Australia. I don't think you grow up in the water in England. You might be growing up skiing, but we're not so good at skiing. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so kind of England, we don't have any skiing in England. You have to go over to Europe to ski.
Yeah.
There's a lot more open water swimming happening now, and people are, I mean, the thought of getting undressed and going into the sea at 2 degrees, I just can't do it. People go, but it's exhilarating. I'm like, I can't even stand under a cold shower. How can it possibly be exhilarating?
Yeah.
I would be stressing out before I even got there. So I think
Yeah.
I love swimming in warm temperatures.
Yeah. We'll come over here for a holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. So the plan is actually to come over next year, because it'd be my big 660. So the plan is to come over. I haven't seen my sister for a number of years, so I might sort of look at taking a month out and doing Australia. Yeah, yeah.
That'd be great.
So I'll be like, I'm coming over, everyone. Yeah, it should be. Yeah. That's my plan. So, but I've got a number of girlfriends who are also 60 in the same year. There's about 4 of us, and they're like, we should just do a girly holiday. I'm like, well, I was going to go to Australia, but yeah. Let's
do it another time.
Let's all go to the Maldives. They went, that's a couple's destination. I went, it doesn't matter. Well, we can just go anyway. Yeah.
That's my dream place. I see those things and I put it on a vision board, because that's the swimming. I'm just going, I want to go there.
Yeah, I would love to snorkel over there. I mean, it just looks heaven. Yeah, absolute heaven. I was in Dubai a few weeks ago, visiting, staying with friends, and that was, I mean, they thought I was mental going in the sea, because it's like, it's not warm enough yet. I'm like, it's like 30 degrees. It's got, like, how can it not be warm enough? The sea wasn't 30 degrees, obviously, but the sea felt quite refreshing. But obviously the height of the summer over there, it'd be like getting into a warm bath, I would imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm like, well, this is hot, guys. Yeah. Okay, back to your scan. So polarity is coming up.
And I think that was up last time.
Yeah, okay. So we're looking at, this is an interesting one, because it often correlates with the chakra energy.
Yes.
So you look and see how your energy centers are balanced.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Also, it's about going down to identity, about who we are.
Yeah, my identity sucks.
Yeah.
I'm conscious of that. Yeah. And I know that I'm trying to work on my identity and who I am.
Yeah. So also then, obviously, looking at people who've been traveling a lot, whether it be by sea, rail, air, car, because it can actually affect the polarity in the body and make it more positively charged when the body prefers more of a negative charge. But often,
Yeah.
I think looking at your scan, we probably, need to look at sort of, we know where you are, looking at the sort of the more emotional aspect of this.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you could tie those up and go, okay, let's look at environmental. Okay, so you've got, oh goodness. Okay, yeah, there's quite a few priorities in here. Okay, so definitely check with the swimming pool where you're swimming as to what's actually in there. I mean, I think if there's chlorine, you would definitely smell chlorine anyway. But your lymphatic system is showing as a priority.
Yeah, so I know last time the lymphatics came up several times.
Yeah. I mean, probably a good thing to do would be to do some body brushing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's in the shower, isn't it, with a sponge? Is that what it is? The body brushing?
No, it's not. It's before you get into the shower. So it's using a just a small circular brush.
Okay.
I'm just doing some but before you sort of start clearing the lymph system, it's always a good idea to sort of hold the tummy and do some deep breathing, usually sort of like breathing,
Okay.
and then you can sort of start then, I mean, you can use the breath, or you could do it manually. I mean, the thing is that with the lymphatic system, it's a very light, it's almost like a stroke rather than like a full force massage.
Okay.
So there's lots, I mean, I would say probably go on to, again, there's lots of great stuff on YouTube now.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
But there is a lot of, there's a lot of environmental stresses going on in your body at the moment. Yeah.
Because I have gained 20 kilos. So it's sort of in my belly area.
Okay. Yeah. And you've got the large intestine coming up. Yeah. Agriculture, fungicides, insecticides, food, mold. Yeah. So I think it's probably environmentally, so what's in the home as well. And if your immune system is under, because your circulation is there as well, if it's under stress, it's your body's having to work harder to clear those that toxicity, isn't it? So
yeah.
Okay, immunity, yeah. So
would you be taking cayenne pepper for the circulation?
I don't, to be honest, I don't know. Generally, if I've got someone, or my circulation system is under stress, I mean, I do a lot of workout, so I generally have quite a healthy lymph system anyway. For people who don't, I generally encourage a little bit more movement, and getting them to do some some gentle body brushing, or just basically helping to clear the lymphatic system.
Okay. So I'm walking the dog at least minimum an hour a day. So half an hour to 45 minutes in the morning, same in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So
and is that a sort of a higher impact, or is that just a saunter? Is that a sort of more of a brisk walk?
low impact.
Yeah. Okay.
Just walking.
Yeah. So things like like the rebounders, like the little trampoline things, great for the lymphatic system. Even the vibration plates.
Oh yeah.
They're great for the lymphatic system, circulation. Even just jumping up and down, doing a few jump squats, things like that.
Yeah.
All this can basically do with what we're doing. We're just stirring everything up and getting it moving.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's look at your. Yeah. Okay. So
Is it bad?
No, it's probably what we'd be expecting to see, really. So if you kind of look at this from a perspective in terms of what's looking at the creative cycle. So if you go to the life journey screen and look at the creative cycle. So we've got intention, communication, and identity. So
Yeah.
this is how, if I was, if you were my client was working with you, I wouldn't be going, okay, well, you need more source energy. Well, you clearly need more source energy because there's a lot, your oxygenation isn't working as it should do. Okay. We can see everything feels quite sluggish. Your body is
Yeah.
like, it seems to be under attack from pro emotions and physical at the moment. But the polarity identity is coming up. There's obviously some internal communications that's going on. So
Yeah.
by going straight to the creative cycle, what you can do, you can start to tell a story
Okay.
for the client. Okay, so we can look at, so without intention, it's okay. It's almost like, we can all have days when we perhaps just need a bit more energy.
Yeah.
Okay, that happens to all of us. However, so it's not always about physical energy, it's about emotional energy as well. So if we don't have energy, we don't have the ability to initiate things. Okay.
Yeah.
We kind of like become very, I suppose, almost quite sedentary. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about initiating, new activities. It's about, sort of creating things. It's about attracting things in our lives.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Then we look at the heart imprinter is about the communication in the body, and then the cell drive is identity. Yeah. So it's really interesting to look at the information around here. And then we've got the assimilation, which is the stomach, which is about being able to break things down into more manageable pieces.
Oh.
Okay. So obviously we need source energy to be able to, survive in effect. Okay.
Yeah.
But we need to be able to initiate new activities, whether that be a physical, whether that be an emotional thing. Okay. So when this is, when source driver is showing as a priority, okay, it may be that on a subconscious level, we're creating an environment that just isn't allowing us to be able to work through that. Okay, so it's about sort of giving ourselves permission to sort of start to gather those resources. And when we look at that in conjunction with assimilation, it's about breaking those things down. So you've got your goal, for this year is to do this. But if it's like it's a big goal, how do we break that down? What components do we need to put in place? So we've got the goal, okay, right? So we want to do this year. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do? And then start working, in effect, working backwards to have a timeline in place. It's a bit like if you're project managing something. So I've assigned myself as project manager. I'm doing some house renovations, changes, whatever you want to call it. No building work, it's more sort of cosmetic, but my house is moving. My house is moving in terms of how it works for me at the moment. So my kitchen is moving into my lounge is moving into my office is moving into my kitchen. So in order to be able to do that, I need to break that down into it. So I've collected my data and I've created a timeline, and everyone's working to that timeline. Clear communication. By this date, I will have the end outcome.
Wow. Yes.
Okay. So but that's in everything in our lives. If we don't have a direction that we're heading in, how are we ever going to get there? So it's actually about breaking things down. Okay. So maybe that, perhaps we're sort of in a state where we're just floundering at the moment.
Yeah, I have been, because I've been wanting to move forward, and it's just, why has it been so difficult?
Yeah. Okay. So look at your behavioral patterns. Okay. And this is where then you can go into the beliefs. Okay. So about being hopeful about the future. I am able to be helped. So this is your meditation will pick up on these areas.
Okay.
So it's so whether or not we're aware of the imbalance around this issue, the belief is that it's held in our body, which is what we test for. It can affect our outlook on life, how we interact with others, what experiences we allow into our lives, and even our health.
Okay.
Okay, so we've either got, you know, a lack of excess of feeling hope for the future. Okay, sorry.
That's true. It's
Yeah.
guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay, so we can't see any positives. Okay.
No, because the two things I want to do is be successful in S Health. Secondary, I want to write a book about it's a spiritual book, something that will anyway, and I want to do both. But moving forward has been a hard thing.
Yeah, yeah. But also be kind to yourself, you know, give yourself time
Mhm.
because, you know, you're kind of like you've gone through some big life changes.
Mm.
I mean, how old are you, Karen?
I'm 53, I think.
Okay. You see.
Born in 69.
How old am I? Yeah. Okay. So you know, you've gone through some big life changes, and it's kind of like, you know,
Mm.
it's about finding that identity about you know, who is Karen,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's yeah, it's you know, it's going to be some changes. Okay. And then communication. Okay, how are we communicating this? Okay. So keywords: radiate out intention, confidence to ask and express ourselves clearly.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
conscious that my confidence hasn't been there, so I haven't probably been as clear and as expressive.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, and then you've got identity. So there's a big one at the moment.
Mhm.
Cellular energy, looking at that. Okay. So we don't have a clear identity. We don't have there's no clarity. In effect, there's no clarity in our lives, is there?
Mhm. Mm.
Okay. So it you know, this sort of when we're trying to manifest new things coming into our lives, it doesn't generally can't happen.
Ah, yes. So it's like the opposite magnets.
Yeah, yeah. So my a good friend of mine who her husband passed away 10 days after my husband last year.
Oh gosh.
We knew he was going to pass because he had cancer, and he was quite a bit older than us. He was in his mid to late 70s.
Mhm.
He's still quite young to die, in all fairness. So my friend is 54, and last week we met up. We'd been line dancing, we went out for something to eat, and she went, "I've got some news." And I said, "Oh yeah, what's that?" And she's like, "Met someone." I'm like, "Oh, okay." That was quick, and it's kind of like it spiraled me down
Oh.
for a couple of days, and I'm like going, "So is this jealousy that's going on in my head?
Mhm.
Is this you know, what am I so I was literally felt like someone had just pulled the plug on my and I just deflated. And I think it was some envy in there, not envious of
Yeah.
her, envious of all of a sudden she's in this situation where she's like this lovesick puppy, and just actually absolutely loving life, and I'm like, so what about me? You know, I'm not ready to move on yet. I don't really feel that I want a new relationship,
Mm.
but I do miss I miss the companionship. I miss someone putting their
Yeah,
arms around me,
exactly.
you know, telling me. Excuse me, me and my husband had such a we had a very close bond.
Mhm.
And I don't excuse me, but I don't think the day
You
went
need
past.
water.
Yeah, I've got some here. When he didn't tell me that he loved me.
Mm.
Um, and he would just phone me up just randomly and shout my nickname down the phone. I'm like, okay, I'm with someone at the moment. I'll call you back. Like, why do you? It always did it to me, and but it was. I
Ah,
think he thought, yeah, but that was just who he was. So
that's so
all these
sweet.
all these emotions that I'm kind of like starting to
Mm.
straight back in there. So it is about working through and finding your identity and being comfortable about who you are. Um, there's just so many, yeah, there's just so many different levels, isn't there?
Mm.
So don't ever
Totally.
be afraid to go from energy strength
Yeah.
to creative cycle.
Okay. All right. I'm going to write that down. That's good. It's good to know that one.
Okay, so it also, you know, obviously the cell driver is the highest priority in here. Okay, so it's obviously looking at the mitochondria.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
so we're looking at cellular energy, we're looking at metabolism,
Yeah.
and communications. Now, you mentioned you gained a bit of weight.
20 kilos, and that's probably over 2019, 20, 3 years,
Okay,
2021, 22.
okay, and is that a obviously it's that sort of inactivity and probably making the wrong food choices.
Yeah, chips and
Yeah, okay.
bad food, comfort food. So constantly eating bad stuff.
Okay, so this is kind of looking at your body's probably having to work a little bit harder to metabolize right now,
Yeah.
which why we could be seeing obviously lots of areas coming up with immunity. So it's you know, correlating with your body being able to break down probably excessive calories, wrong food choices that are coming in really. Okay. So yeah, just kind of being mindful of that. Okay. And then perhaps making those, you know, that might be a goal that I mean, 20 kilos is actually, well, 20 kilos, trying to think what that is in pounds. It's quite a lot, isn't it? I suppose in pounds, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, so that one of your goals might be over the next 2
20
months
kilos.
to lose 5 kilos.
Yeah, okay. So then just break it down.
Yeah. You know, because I think when we've got you know, we've got a lot, you know, sort of, I suppose, this much weight to lose, and we go, oh God.
Yes.
But if you break it down
So
over
it's
the 12 months, it's actually not that
44
much.
it's 44.92 pounds.
Okay, yeah.
That gives you an idea.
Yeah. So you know, it's just kind of breaking that down. Okay, so realistically, you know, I'm going to say to myself, okay, well, I want, if I'm, you know, if I lost this much per month, so in 18 months' time, I should be this weight. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's basically what it is, isn't it? Okay,
Mhm.
energy flow. So the large intestine, you mentioned that was coming up last time.
I think so.
Okay. So we look at the
I know the lymphatic system was, because I know
okay.
there's something Cheryl said that I needed to have a lymphatic massage.
Yes.
So I'm not quite sure, but I know I've been eating a lot more bread, and I do have an allergy or a sensitivity, and I'm just making me feel sick.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's
yeah. So we look at the large intestine, looking at the nervous system. Okay, so there's some stress going on in there. We're looking at the areas within the brain. We're looking at the large intestine and how well you're absorbing. Connections with ear, nose, and throat, bronchi and skin. So we've seen, obviously saw the bronchi coming up with oxygenation, and then look at the emotions about holding on to things, self-worth and guilt, hope and despair.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, there's a priority coming up around the paranasal sinus field, and then the nerve plexus. If we can go into the rear meridian, and we've got the cranial nerves, sensory cortex field. So yeah, there's some different areas. So it's like looking at sort of like those elements of blocked energy or energy which has become distorted through those communication processes. Okay. Let's look at the mind body. So ESR and Liberator on yellow, not high priorities, but things like, you know, you can use the My Health, you know, put it onto ESR, you could put it onto Liberator. You know, one that you could be using is fat metabolism and just holding it around the liver area. That.
You rock. I should have been doing that a long time ago.
Okay, so things that you can be, you know, practical things that you can do. Okay. So brainstem hologram, we're looking around,
so what do we
themes of survival, existence, and family. Okay, if we go into there, we've got intimidation, which is going to do with the bladder. Okay. So we've got some nice affirmations in here. I'm at ease with my past, move with confidence and certainty into the future. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so it's around intimidation, threats, physical damage, or being hurt. Okay, so but it's the whole of
And
it.
when it is in this intimidate, and is it to do with this area, the sexual areas, or is it just
This is the bladder.
oh, so it's the bladder? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So if we go back and look at the bladder meridian, okay, yeah, we can see we've got some priorities. So we've got some priorities in the cranial side and the frontal sinus field. We can go into the lymphatic system in here. So there's a 3 coming around the nodes field. So not high priorities, okay, but there are, there are some things in here. We can look at the nervous system, okay. So it's not the lymphatic meridian, it's the actual lymphatic in terms of immunity that's showing for you.
Okay.
Okay. So a medulla hologram. So really looking for sort of any priorities around here. So we've got
I
flexibility.
think they've reduced or moved flexibility. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Things have reduced in these areas.
Yeah. Okay, which is
except
great.
the for and speak, not being able to speak up.
Yeah.
Speak twice.
Yeah. So that's the larynx muscles. And this is the larynx mucosa.
Okay.
Emotions. So envy, interesting. Okay, we've got a bit of fear, or security, fear, guilt going on, gratitude. Okay, so I mean, they're not high priorities, but they are. It's obviously worth looking at those. Envy is always an interesting one because it's. I think we can look at people and be envious and think, oh well, they've got this, they've got this, they've got this.
Yeah.
And when we're not in a good place, we're more likely to be envious of those people.
I know.
So my friend,
and isn't it interesting? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So my friend who is now the one that's loved, like a loved up puppy.
Oh yeah.
One of our mutual friends came over to see me at the weekend because I wasn't in a particularly good place, and I was in like a real, thinking I actually didn't even recognize who I was. And I'm going, well, she's kind of got everything. She's she's this, and she listened to me and she went, right, have you finished now? And I went, boom. And she went, oh my God, she said, you need to sort yourself out. But I had literally gone from being kind of like almost clear about, who I am and da, 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 da. And all of a sudden, all I could see was negative about me and positive about her.
Yeah.
And she said, Helen, you've got so much to offer,
Yes.
and she said, and I thought, do you know what? It's so true. So when she'd gone, I got my painting gear on and like, I'd like to decorate. So I'm decorating inside of my garage, and I've now finished my little gym area. So I've got my perfect little gym in my garage, which is lovely. So I'm very excited about that.
Good on you.
I put the finishing touches to it last night, but it was.
Oh, congrats.
But what was interesting is when I kind of like, I often will go and do things that make me feel like I've achieved something when I'm in a bad place. So it's got nothing to do with work or anything, or going for a walk or anything. I literally just put my painting stuff on and I just got stuck in. And it's just kind of like a sense of achievement, I suppose, in a way, isn't it? And I can put some nice music on, I'm completely lost in my thoughts and I'm painting and off I go. And the following 2 days later, I woke up, I think it was Monday morning, I woke up, it was Sunday or Monday, I can't remember which day it was now. And I haven't met anyone, but I had this guy paying me a lot of attention when I was in Dubai. He was very nice. Now because of my colouring and blue eyes, I do tend to attract, my husband was from the Middle East as well. So I do tend to attract that type of gentleman. And I'm attracted to that, it's kind of like it's a mutual thing. And I did swap my number with this guy and thinking, oh, we'll never hear from him. And he started messaging me, and it was just really, do you know what? It's not going to go anywhere because I don't want it to. And he's like in Dubai and I'm in England. Oh, just 2 seconds, Karen. I've just got somebody just delivered a parcel for me. Sorry.
That's okay.
Morning. Oh, bless you. Hello. Thank you. So, is that what they did it as well? Was it just one hard one? Okay. Sorry about that. It's because I'm changing everything around at home. I've had to get a little temporary desk thing. So, yeah, but just having kind of, just like someone paying a bit of attention, it kind of like it took me. I thought, well, that was really nice. So it's, yeah, I think we've all got more. In fact, he's 10 years younger than me as well, was even better. But it's kind of, I suppose, somewhat, it's kind of being clear about what we want in life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is true.
Because otherwise, what we do, we just blunder and blunder and blunder. I've said to 2023 is going to be my year of adventures and trying new
Oh,
things, doing new
great.
things, and and just it's because why not?
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So for you, envy, it's kind of, but it's about insecurity. It's about fear. Okay. It's about thinking that we're possibly going to lose something. Okay.
Yeah.
Even, jealousy. Okay. So be
Yeah.
mindful of our emotions. Brain performance, so thinking and feeling. Okay, that's an interesting one
I
for you.
know. With the Myers-Briggs tests,
Yes.
so I'm an ENFP, and in the F, I was 20. So I was not thinking, I was feeling.
Right. Okay.
That was a while back, so I don't know what it is now.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, so it's interesting that the thinking and the feeling has come up, because obviously I'm probably thinking and feeling the wrong stuff or not moving forward, and I don't know.
yeah. Okay. So it's obviously this has got a link to the nervous system, the endocrine system as well. Okay. So has it got a link to? Could that be part of that? Okay, but it is about correct processing in the brain. Okay. But it's also looking at regulating sleep, waking, and supporting us in our movement and language. Okay, interesting. This is an interesting one. So it also matches with the limbic system, which again includes many aspects of the brain, but it is especially known as the house of emotions. Also influences behavior, motivation, long-term memory, and the sense of smell. Okay, of course, from an biogenetic standpoint, emotions are packets of energy and can be associated with many organs and information pathways, and those are stuck form oscillating spheres that need to be resolved.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's about processing, responding to the emotions. So probably,
Okay.
it'd be interesting if you haven't already ordered the infoceuticals to make sure that you add that one to your protocol.
Okay. I just did a scan this morning, so I just tried to get it as fresh as possible.
Yeah. Okay. So immunity. So this is the sort of long-term immune system. Okay, so people who've got a chronically weakened immune system. Okay, so
okay.
yeah, okay. But if we kind of look at all of the environmental stresses, your body just seems to be under attack from a lot of things right now. So it's about, I mean, one of the things that Peter Fraser used to talk about, and I just love to listen to him, and he was such an amazing gentleman, was, we kind of go through life and we collect, almost like we're like data collection, aren't we?
Yeah.
From our experiences, from our relationships, from our environment, how our upbringing, we kind of constantly imprinting data, and that's how we learn. And the majority of the time, that that's if the data has a positive influence on us. But when there's a sort of a negative influence, maybe this everyone's life is different.
Mm.
You know, so we've got our, you know, good emotions, we've got our negative emotions, and we imprint that in data. When we have too many stresses,
Yeah.
you know, because all of a sudden life's sort of taking a bit of a downward spiral, and then we combine that with environmental stresses because our immune system is starting to weaken.
Yeah.
And then you add another stress in, what that can do, that can then start to manifest as something physical. So this is why we're always looking at building and creating a strong immune response, making sure our body feels strong. So when we have those challenges in our lives, we're less likely to be affected by those.
Right. Yes.
So, you know, looking at, so this is a chronically weakened immune system. Yes, you probably, you know, your body's been up against quite a lot of changes. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got the broad spectrum virus. Okay. And then also this is to do with chronic
Broad spectrum, BSV.
broad spectrum virus. Yeah.
So what is that?
I think it's a combination of different viruses. Okay, so it's kind of like it's I think probably like, you know, sort of not unknown origin in effect.
Okay.
So we're not saying that those, you know, any viruses are present in the body, but there's been a memory there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And they can, you know, link with the skin, lungs, bronchial muscles, larynx, neural ganglia, and motor cortex. So in effect, it's kind of like those areas of kind of like more of a weakness at the moment. Okay.
Got it.
And then we've got CFS, which is to do with the chronic fatigue.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been getting up about 8 o'clock, and it's just
yeah,
an effort.
but that's probably lack of motivation as well.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily physical, probably more of an emotional response.
Not having a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we've got the lymphatic system. So this is looking at the immune system. Okay. So it can have an effect because of electromagnetic fields. Okay. Can be related to the chest and viral problems of the nervous system.
Okay.
But it, you know, it is a sort of, again, it would be good for you to take that infoceutical, and then we can start to build those responses for you.
Okay.
Okay, so the stars, so we've got lymphatic system circulation.
Yes.
Okay. It's looking at sort of obviously the sort of overall circulation system. Okay. It's not saying that there's a buildup of plaque in the arteries, but you know, it's obviously just being sort of mindful of that and just getting everything moving again. Okay.
Okay.
But it can, you know, it just linked to inflammatory hormones. Inflammatory hormones, sorry. Okay. Video. So are we replaying some traumas?
I don't mean to, but yeah, things just happen, or friends would mention things, and you just thinking about my ex, or you know, him and what happened, and
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try not to, but something's there.
It's in the subconscious.
Yeah,
it's in the subconscious. And then heavy metals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last month I've been taking, or a few weeks, I've been taking some colloidal silver as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just because I did the NEST scan, also did a scan with the naturopath to compare things, you know, because hers is more diagnostic, this is non-diagnostic, but I wanted to know. And heavy metals came up too then. So I thought I'd just try to boost it along.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, anything that we can do to, you know, to eliminate heavy metals in the body. I mean, we've all got them.
Yeah. Okay.
And obviously it can have an effect on the overall nervous system. So yeah, just being mindful of that.
Okay.
Okay, so the My Health, this is where you're going to use your ERs, so sensory cortex, bronchioles, sinuses, elbow joints, and larynx mucosa.
Elbow joints.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got so the central cortex, mind-body association for the brain revolve around being in tune with ourselves, aligning individual identity and taking charge of your life. So that being clear who you are and not ignoring your true self. Okay, your bronchioles relate to family. Family issues and disruptions can give a sense of violation of your space and a desire to cut off contact with others who are irritating you. Well, happens with all of us, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I am living
Consider
with my family.
being true to yourself and branching out on your own. Let others live their lives in their own way and yours in your way.
Yeah.
Everyone's got an opinion, haven't they? We've all got an opinion about, what's good for someone and what's not good, and it's like, I don't listen to opinions anymore. So sinuses, about repressed anger, unaligned feeling, or some situations resistant or provoking us.
Oh,
Okay. And it may be that, if you
repressed anger.
sorry.
Repressed anger.
Yeah. Okay. It may be about in fear of being emotionally flooded. Okay. So elbow joints represent movement. Problems with the elbows can represent either too much force being used against others or too little movement and flexibility in our dealing with others.
Okay.
Okay.
Too much force or
Yeah, it may be that
okay.
we perhaps or too little. And
Okay.
then the larynx mucosa
Okay.
represents our ability to speak our truth. So not being able to express ourselves fully.
Yeah, that's me. I can't express it. I have to really think or ponder or have a girlfriend, talk, and then things come out, but it doesn't come out naturally. I don't know why. I just haven't been able to express it clearly.
Yeah, well, this is a process, Karen, just a process.
But I do have a good GP and she's an S Health practitioner as well.
Oh, perfect then, yeah. Okay, so MRs, so you've only got some yellows coming up. What I probably would do would be to run the MR cycle.
Do I have that yet?
Have you got My Health there?
Yeah.
Got the MR folder on it?
Checking. No.
Okay.
Physical, energy, mind, protection, transformation, well-being, ER.
Okay. Because you're buying the full system, I will get what I'll do. After our call, I'll get that added. So what you'll need to do is plug your My Health into your computer, and then the update on through BioSync.
Yeah.
And then that'll add that folder for you. But the matrix regulator is I think 56 or 57 minutes. Okay. So what it does is it's going through the whole of the matrix. It's basically clearing the whole of the matrix. Okay.
Awesome.
But if we feel like it's an acute thing that's going on, which I think it probably is for you, we recommend using it every day for 7 to 10 days.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And then after that, then you can perhaps use it every 3 days for another 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay. Every 3 days.
Yeah, for another 3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks. Wow. Okay.
Okay. So it's looking at resolving emotional shocks and traumas, as well as the healing issues within the actual terrains.
Oh.
Okay, so this is a great one for emotional immunity.
I'm just writing a few notes.
Okay.
If you haven't realized, I'm sure you realized.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't need to run the other ones while you're doing the matrix regulators. Okay, so we looked at environment. Okay, so it's mostly homework and personal care. I think it's what's sitting within your personal environment.
I use Melaleuca products, so they're all eco-friendly and green. I don't know. what all this is. Smoke. I used to have a fireplace, but that's
See, we've all come into contact with,
Mm,
furnishings, petrochemicals, smoked Teflon, all of these things that some people might not use Teflon at home.
mm.
But when we've eaten out, or perhaps as a child, we would have come in. So basically, what we're saying is that we're not saying that these levels of toxicity are in your body now.
Yeah.
If you came into contact with it, your body probably wouldn't like it. So the idea is to build a strong, immune system,
Yes.
a good solid base, so that when we do come
Yeah.
into contact, we're not going to be
Mhm.
affected.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
don't look at these and going, oh my goodness, I've got all of these. Now, for example, if BPA kept coming up in your scans every month, and we go, okay, what is it that's in your environment that's actually creating this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then we can go further into it and go, okay, what exactly, where would you actually find this? Okay, so
Mm.
it's found in canned goods, it's in plastic water bottles and plastic food containers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Cash machine receipts,
These things.
yeah, they're just a no-no. Found in canned sodas and beers and processed food. Also used in artificial
It's
air.
my plastic.
Yeah. So
That's the thing that goes. That's the thing that I've been using all the time. Plastic.
Yeah.
So I need to have my water bottle.
Yeah. I mean, I
Glass.
only use a glass one.
Mhm.
I just fill it up throughout the day. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to make a
even,
change.
yeah, even cash machine receipts. So and when anyone says to me now, do you want a receipt? I go, no, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Because it's
So
even
that's a cash receipt.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on mental clarity for myself. So I retain everything.
Okay, nutrition. So obviously we've seen some malabsorption going on within the large intestine. So A, D, and some of your B vitamins.
So I know I'm deficient in all these. I have these all in the fridge.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that you perhaps need to have more. It's usually the fact we've don't have enough rather than having too much. Okay.
Yeah, I am deficient. I know.
So the big thing to look at really is the digestion and metabolism. So metabolism, there's a few greens, but nothing priority.
I'm
If we look at
surprised the pH.
malabsorption, we can see we've got stomach driver coming up, and we've also got the large intestine routine. So basically, it's more a malabsorption, that you're not absorbing things as you should be right now.
Okay. So I just need to fix the malabsorption.
Yeah. So by bringing the body back into balance and obviously addressing diet as well, that you're going to create more an environment where the body's going to be able to absorb more effectively.
Okay.
Sensitivities. So we've got nothing into grains, other grains. Quinoa. This is an interesting one because I had this on someone else the other day as well, and it's like they're going, well, that's meant to be good for you. So, well, if you're perhaps eating too much of it, then probably clearly it's not. Or if you don't have the digestive enzymes in place in your body to be able to digest it at the moment.
I don't eat it, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Legumes, tree nuts, nothing, citrus fruits, lemons.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Nightshades and anything else. Oxalates. Okay. So yeah, looking at lack of enzymes to break the food down, maybe there's some reactions to sugar, stimulants, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. So life journey, I definitely would recommend you kind of working through these, but I think there's so much going on already with the beliefs and emotions and what's going on in the mind body screen. Maybe that you're just not, perhaps just need to pick one or two things. Okay. Perhaps it may be that you just want to, you just need to ask some more questions and and look at your destiny right now.
Yeah.
So probably I would say look at the hero's journey. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So asking questions about, where we should be going in our life, what we should be doing, our skill sets, what our destiny is.
Mm.
So we don't have things in place and we're not aligned with our destiny,
Yeah.
then we're just kind of like, it's almost like they kind of use the analogy of like, we're basically just floating down the river, kind of like wondering where we're going to end up. And how many people do that in life?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to do that this year. I want to live with purpose.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at transformations. So willpower, so you could just run that from your My Health. I like to run the transformation cycle, even though it's coming up as a priority. It's 27 minutes.
Okay. So that's transformation. Oh, down there. Yep.
Okay. So recommendations. So it's asking us for the cell driver, large intestine, EI16. So you've already 10 on the brain performance. Yeah, that was good. That would be the one I would say, yes, you definitely need that one. The lymphatic system and heavy metals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going with the high priority purples. Yeah. Yeah. So that would be my recommendation. You can create a My Health cycle.
Yes, I did that this morning.
Fantastic. Okay.
As soon as I saw it.
Yeah.
And is that the meditation?
It is, yeah. So we can unlock this now for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. So that will now be in your self-help and meditations. There you go.
You're a legend.
Okay. So yeah, 2nd of March. Okay.
Yeah. That'll be good.
Yeah.
I need change because I need to just be able to move forward, but I need to sit and reflect on all these to be able to.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been using have you been using your My Health a lot?
This last week I have.
Okay.
Before that, the last month or so when I've been doing the other client or the lady with the purple legs, I have had it on my setting quite a bit on my way there and way back.
Yeah.
When I can think about it. And at night, like last night, I put it on Liberator. And I think I've been putting it on BioCell occasionally.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have been playing around like with the transformation and the other one one's 27 minutes, one's 30 minutes.
Yeah, so you've got your cycles, you've got your radiation cycle.
Yes.
Which is 30.
That's got polarity in it. Yeah.
That's 34 minutes. You've got your transformation cycle, which is 27 minutes. And then you've got your Chinese cycle, which is 24 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then you'll have the MR cycle as well.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And these are all, my dog's in my bedroom. So they're all safe for the dog if I'm playing them 24 hours.
Yeah. Oh, bless. Yeah. So Karen, is there anything else, any questions, anything else I can help you with today?
No, I think you've covered so much, Helen. You really have.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, I don't have. No, I think my problem was how to do the music thing into the people's, and you've covered that.
Yeah.
So that was my main question.
Okay.
Yeah. When you use this on people, how long do you use it for?
So generally, when I was seeing clients in person when I first got started, I used to use the transformation cycle a lot with people. So what I would do when somebody came in to see me, because obviously Ness was my main therapy. And
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I wanted to be a talking therapist, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So what I would do, I would do a scan for someone, and then I would move them onto a treatment couch. So I don't use a treatment couch anymore. I mean, I'm not been seeing clients in person just lately anyway. I've been sort of doing all via Zoom. So, but the couch behind me is like, it will actually, people can lie on that quite easily. It's very comfortable. So what I was doing, I was moving the client away from the computer straight away and putting on the transformation cycle. Sometimes I might use the radiation cycle, and then would then literally have half an hour of complete relaxation with the My Health, and I have the imprinted music playing in the background.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So after half an hour, during that time, I would then spend the time going through the scan, pulling the priorities out, and creating a story for the client.
Oh.
Because I always think that we can tell people lots of information, and facts will always tell us things, but stories will sell things. So if we can tell somebody a story about what's going on in their scan,
Yes.
A, they can take ownership for that and start to make some changes.
Okay.
B, they then become invested. So you go from being interested to invested.
Okay.
And that's generally what I do now.
So how did you do that regards to their imprinted music? Can you play it, or did they have to purchase it?
So you can use it through the computer, so you've got it on your system. I actually bought the actual CDs because I quite like a bit old fashioned like that. So I've still got a little CD player, so I would actually play them through the CDs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I find that on the computer it's a little bit, I don't think you get the same quality of sound.
Okay. Yes.
And so it meant I can put the CD player near where they are, and it's like it's just a nice relaxing music. Yeah.
Fantastic. No, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's just, I just find it easier to purchase the CDs and then just put them in the CD player. Do you remember when we used to do that?
Yes, exactly.
I know, it's like, oh my goodness, yeah. Remember what a CD looks like, yeah. So and that's just how I like to do it, yeah.
Okay. And then if they've got pain or something, how long would you put it on their skin for?
Yeah, so if they're coming for an actual physical, try and keep the treatment down to about between 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
And depending, on how the severity of the pain, how long it's been there for, would depend on how often they need to come back. So I might need to see them 2 or 3 times in the first week, like you would if you were seeing a chiropractor, or a physio. And then, then we could sort of start to have a more sort of staggered approach to that. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. Right.
You're awesome.
Do you think so? Let me just stop.
Yeah, I think so.